Howdy, Mojave D here. I hope you're doing well. I do. So I didn't want to put this up. I mean, but I said I would. I mean, I said I would do some footage, of my trip to the 55-year reunion. And I said I'd do it, so I guess I'll put it up. I'm not happy with it, but I'll let you guys be the judge. I start off in Goodsprings because the event is on the 14th, 15th, and 16th of November. By the time you see this, that'll be this weekend. And I said the first time. Now I went there last year to the event, and it was the first time I used a GoPro, and this is the second time I've used a GoPro, so I haven't used it for a year. Because I don't know how. And but I start there because I did say in that video that I would show it to. I'd show you Goodsprings when the event wasn't going on, and you didn't see thousands and thousands of people there. I think they're expecting up to 10,000 this year. So we start in Goodsprings. I do get Primm. Now Primm is on the way back. Sorry, I swallowed. Went down the wrong pipe. So I do have Primm. Primm's going to be towards the end of the video. I'll have timestamps on it. And I wanted to interview some of the people there, the residents there. I did get Easy Pete. I couldn't film inside. I did film inside of the Pioneer Bar, the Pioneer, and the general store. For all you Fallout New Vegas people, you know what I'm talking about. The rest of you probably don't. But I did go inside, but they had the radio on, so I couldn't show any of the inside stuff, which is too bad because it was pretty fun. But because of copyright, I didn't want to deal with copyright issues and have a copyright, and have to demonetize the video. I mean, I have to pay for the gas, somehow. So I didn't want to demonetize the video. So, but I did get Easy Pete. He was outside. He came outside. They were working in there, so I couldn't get him. I didn't want to interrupt their work. They were taking care of customers. But he was outside doing some work, and I was able to call him over, and he gave a shout out to LizXP. Because she's by the time you see this, I think she will have started her blind playthrough on Fallout New Vegas. So and he says hi to Liz, and he says, "I'm worried about you. We're worried about you." I don't know why he said that, but it's pretty cool that he did. Anyway, and so I tried to get up the Benny Hill again. The hill where Benny kills the courier. Right, and that's where you start the game, right? And you get buried and all of that, and that's where you start the game. And last year I couldn't make it up that hill. My knee just would not let me make it all the way up. But I'll try again this year. Now I don't have knee replacement or any of that kind of stuff. All my parts are original. They just have a lot of miles on them, and but it ain't the miles on the tires, it's what's under the hood that counts, right? Right? So, anyway, so it starts there, and then I have some footage of when I got to the town where I was raised, and there's some footage of that. I did get they've got a wild burro and wild Mustang rescue ranch out there, so that there's some of that in there. Out there, they when the population gets too high, too many wild burros and too many wild Mustangs, they'll round them up because it keeps the rest of the herd healthy. Because what happens when they get too many is they run out of food out there, right? So where they can graze, and so they trim the herd out, and they go to this rescue ranch where they receive veterinary medical attention and get cleaned up and when they're healthy, and they put them up for adoption, so you can actually adopt a wild Mustang. And there's some really fine animals out there. Once they get them healthy and cleaned up, and then they put them up for adoption. So yeah, so I do have some of that in there, and a cave, because I talk about it like in in the Red Dead videos, and the Indiana Jones video, and some others. You know, every time there's a cave, I talk about how, you know, we used to explore those caves when I was a kid. And so I was able to get to one of those. I couldn't get to the good ones. I mean, this one is the smallest one, but you'll see the cave, that's in there. And like I say, we'll have timestamps on it. I'll put timestamps on all this stuff. And so you can just get an idea of what we did, the kind of thing, you know, and we would go back in there with just candles, because it's pitch black. You can't even see your foot once you get past, you know, about 50 feet in. But this one is the smallest one, but it's the only one I could get to at my age. There's no way I could get back to the really nice one that we claimed as our own. You know, that one went back about, 70, 80 yards deep into the mountain. The one I'm showing you only goes back about 200 feet, but you can only see about the first 50 feet of it, because that's as far back as the light will go. And that kind of thing. So, like I say, I'm not happy with it, and I put it together as well as I could, the different clips, to make it make sense. And I don't know, I'm putting it up because I said I would. But like I say, I'll let you guys be the judge of it. So I hope you enjoyed it a little bit. So, well, without further ado, we'll go into. Oh, and I made 2 trips out to Goodsprings, because the first footage didn't come out well, because I don't know how to use that GoPro. But I did use some of one of both visits in there, so you might notice I'm wearing different clothes in Goodsprings, because I made 2 trips out there, because I wasn't happy with the footage. Anyway, enjoy, I hope, and thank you for being here. I do appreciate it very much, and you know, I'm not real good at doing this kind of thing, but well, take a look. I'll let you guys be the judge. Thank you, man. Howdy, Mojave D here. I'm doing well. This is Goodsprings before the storm that's going to hit this weekend, when all of the Fallout New Vegas fans and players come to the big Fallout New Vegas event that they've been holding every year for years now. And I wanted to show you what it looked like when nobody was here, but there are already people showing up. I'm on my way to my class reunion, but this is on the way. It's just a short trip out of Las Vegas, but there it is. Well, there's obviously people here, but it's going to be crazy this weekend. Now what I'm going to do is walk up Benny Hill first. Now I call that Benny Hill because that's where Benny shoots the courier when the game first starts. That's where you start out, and you can't tell probably, but that is extremely steep. I tried to get up there last year and I could not make it. So it's a 50-50 chance. You know, place your bets, man. I'll bet you $1. I think, well, I bet there's like an 80% chance I can make it. So we'll see. We will see. I couldn't do it last year. I got about 3/4 of the way up and crapped out. But let's give it a shot. We'll do that first, and then we'll go inside the saloon and Goodsprings general store, and hopefully Trudy will be there, the real life woman that they modeled Trudy off of lives here and works here. I'd like to get an interview with her if we can. We'll see. All right.
Now I know that doesn't look steep on camera, but it is. Now I have worked on my legs since last year, so hopefully they'll be strong enough to make it. We'll see. The funny thing, not funny, but the interesting thing when you look at things from a 73-year-old perspective is looking back. And when I was young, in my prime, the track coach would actually have us run up hills like this, and it was not a problem. And now I'm looking at last year, I could not walk it. If I run up a hill like this, I mean, they would take the track team out into the desert. I didn't grow up in this desert. Well, I did. This is the Mojave Desert, but a different part of it I grew up in. And they'd take us out there, and we would have to sprint, so all out up a hill like this. And you would go all the way up to the top, and you'd have to do it in a certain amount of time. You know, he gave you a time. You couldn't lollygag, so you had to go full bore. And then you would jog down easy, and that was your recovery. Your time to catch your breath would be the jog down. And then once you got down, you had to do it again. Rinse and repeat. How many times? 10. I'm not joking. And with 73 years of perspective, well, 55 years since I did that kind of thing, it's amazing to me that we could do it. But we all did. Now I'm going to go up this left side because it looks not as steep as going up the middle, which is what I tried to do last year, was go up the middle. Didn't make it. Almost, but not quite. But the thing is, our track coach was a former Marine, a retired Marine, and also a champion middle distance runner in his own prime. So our track practices, look at this. I'm gonna make it up that? Let's find out, man. I'll bet you $1. Anybody want to bet $1? See, these rocks are real loose, so your foot kind of can slip and slide on them. Our track practices were like boot camp. Our track practices were actually worse, harder than football practice. Of course, none of our football coaches were, oh boy, getting hard, were former Marines. Hey, there's a lizard. That's a side blotch. That's a side blotch right there. We call them side blotches because they have a blue splotch on their sides. Now this is November. I am surprised it's still out. Let's see how close you'll let me get. We used to catch these. I have caught every lizard that lives in this desert. Side blotches are the most plentiful. Let's see where he went. There he is. I am surprised though in November, but they're little. The bigger ones are hibernating for sure. I can't believe I'm doing this and talking. So, oof. Ways to go. And there's the town back down there. Okay. See, I was pretending to show you the town so I could rest for a minute. Oof. So, many years past my prime, a couple of knee surgeries, football, good old football. There is no way in my wildest imagination that I would dream of running up something like this, and yet we did when we were kids. The whole team. Yeah, this was about as high as I got last time, and I crapped out. I might have to, if I don't make it, we'll rename it Heart Attack Hill. But really, it isn't my cardiovascular that's giving me the issue. It's the legs. You know, it's the legs. Sounds like it's a cardiovascular situation though, doesn't it? Because I'm breathing hard. But again, I shouldn't be talking because it makes it harder. Okay, this is higher than I got last year. Whew. But I didn't come up this way. I came up that way. Up the road. And it's worse than this. This is more gradual. Over here. Okay, a little bit more. A lot more, actually. We're just like a little bit past halfway. Lord have mercy. Of course, holding a camera doesn't help with the balance. Yeah, I crapped out right about there last year. Right about where the camera's focused. So this weekend, this is going to be wall-to-wall people. Well, the weekend of the 14th, 15th, and 16th. Ay, ay, ay. This part is pretty dang steep. I don't know, camera probably won't show that. And I know there are thousands of Fallout New Vegas players who do this, who have made this climb with ease. Talk to me when you're 73. Yeah. Oh, come on, legs. The real trick is not to fall and tumble all the way down. That would hurt. a bit. Almost there. I'm gonna make it. You guys owe me $1. Yay. That's a big victory because I literally could not do this a year ago. But thanks to some leg work, I made it. I'm surprised there isn't a grave. Where's my grave? Where's the courier's grave? They need a grave up here just so I could fall in it. Okay. That's the view out. And over that way is state line. I'll get that for you too. And back this way, over the ridge to Las Vegas. Whew. And over those mountains that way to my old stomping grounds, about 230 more miles that way. Well, lo and behold, I made it. All right, man. Now, if I can get down, if I could just get down without taking a tumble, we'll call it a victory plus. Sometimes when your center of gravity is high, like when I was young, and most people when they're young, your center of gravity is low, and you're less likely to tumble over. But when you have a high center of gravity, meaning you have more weight, now the upper part of your torso, less in your butt and thighs, it's easier to fall over. All right, man, I'm gonna quit recording. I'm not gonna record the walk down, and we'll get down there. Let's see if we can't maybe do some interviews. Anybody need bottle caps to buy that special gun? So I can't go in. I can't take you in because they're playing the radio and the music copyrights, and they're busy enough that I can't get them outside for a few minutes to interview, and I have to get back on the road. Oh, wait a second, there's Easy Pete. Let's see if he has a minute. Easy Pete.
Yeah.
You got a minute to say hello to Liz?
Okay.
Liz just started her playthrough of Fallout Vegas, so I know she'd be tickled if you said hello, LizXP.
Hey. Who?
LizXP is her channel.
Hey, LizXP, how you doing? This is Easy Pete here. How you been?
All
I'm
right.
worried sick about you. Sick, I say.
You're sick, worried sick about her?
Let's just check it out.
Thank you. Thank you, Easy Pete.
You bet, bud.
How cool was that? How cool. All right. Well, Then we have the general store down that way. But I got to get back on the road, guys. I've got a 55-year reunion to get to. And I did ask them inside if this was normal for them to do business out here, because they're out in the middle of nowhere. And they said, yeah. So people do come out here every day. Tourists, you know, people traveling by, whatever. There's a big red. Whoa, I just stepped on a rock and twisted my ankle. Oh, man. My trusty 2008 Mercury Grand Marquis. Anyway, I'll get some, I want to get some footage along the way if there's anything good for you, but I do need to get on the road. So one last look. Thank you guys. Appreciate you being here. On the road again.
You're welcome. There you go. Have a good one. You too, enjoy. Hi, welcome in.
Hi.
How's your exploring going?
Good.
All right.
How's it normally, business-wise?
So today's Friday, so we'll start to pick up a little bit this afternoon because we have live music all weekend. So as the day goes on, we'll get a lot busier. We have a big event coming up tonight as well, our Bikers for Bikes. So that'll bring in a ton of the bike community. So we'll be pretty busy throughout the weekend. Normally an average day here, Monday through Thursday, it just kind of fluctuates throughout the day as people are traveling.
So how do you prepare for something like the Fallout thing on the 14th, 15th, and 16th?
It takes months. It probably takes the entire year. They start very early, our ownership. They have a panel that they work with across the country, Fallout community that starts and prepares, and then several months before the event, all of us managers sit down and have weekly meetings to prepare for what each of our areas is gonna need, what we're gonna anticipate, how many people we're anticipating, and how we're gonna make that function to give everyone the best service that we can possibly give them.
Wow, that is a lot. So 10 days from now. So what do you do in the final 10 days?
So let's see, yesterday we did our walkthrough of the town to make sure that all the event centers that we're using have the proper signage, that we've all got maps in our brain of where everything's gonna be placed and handled, who's handling what and when, which one of our employees is gonna do that. So as we get into the final 10 days or so, now we're down to every single day checking our checklist, making sure that we've ordered what we're supposed to order, making sure we know our staff knows what to do, and how we're gonna do it, what our menu is gonna look like. Everybody has an important part in that.
So how many of you live in Goodsprings?
There is a small handful of us that live in Goodsprings.
You do?
I do not. I live in Sandy Valley, the next dirt town over.
Yeah. I live in Henderson. So.
Okay, I grew up in Henderson.
Yeah.
So I would say the majority of us live in Sandy Valley. It's a little more populated. There is a handful of us that live in Goodsprings, and a very small handful of us, like Marley here, who drive from Las Vegas to get
Hi,
here.
Marley.
Hi. Yeah, so she drives out here just to work for us on the weekends.
And where do most of the customers come from, like special events like this, the biker event?
So like our biker community, it's most local people. Some are out of state and they're part of a chapter, so they'll all come out together. But you just never know where they're coming from.
How do you handle 6,000, 7,000 people here? So like, what do you do? So I mean, do you move around from position to position, or do you stay?
So we have each individual section of our property has a team. So like I manage the general store, I have a team behind me. We all know what we're gonna do to keep the store running. The same with our saloon. We have a manager in there and shift supervisors. They have their team, and everybody's been assigned out to certain sections or what you're going to do for this event.
But do you move? So you position yourself, and you've got 6,000-7,000 people.
We hire
What
on.
do you do? I mean, do you just stand? So you're standing for
no,
10 hours? I mean, you're on your feet.
Yes, we are working 12-hour shifts.
12 hours.
We've committed ourselves to 12-hour shifts for all 3
and
days.
it does not stop.
It does not stop. And then we ask for volunteers in the community. We give them some special perks of the business to come out and just be a part of it.
Yeah.
They get a free entry to the event, free shirt, free meal.
What are some of the... Oh, I'm sorry.
No, it's okay. Would you mind if I checked out?
Oh, please
No,
check
come
out.
on in.
Oh, I'm
be
sorry.
rude.
No, you're not being rude. I am.
Oh, you're fine.
Your business.
I appreciate it. Gotta get the merchandise before.
Yeah, heck yeah.
So are these the globes that are in the game? I'm sorry.
Yes, yep, those are the globes that we carry for the game. We're on a little bit of a down stock because we are waiting for our shipments for FanFest to come in.
I was just going to say, you got to stock up.
Oh yeah, I mean the trucks will be coming in the next 10 days. Truckloads, I should say.
Is that the same as this right here?
Yep.
Yeah, I'll take
All
one of these
packaged up and ready to go for you.
See, they actually get a commission. I just made a sale.
Yeah.
Yeah, you did. We're now gonna hire him and make him work here all the time.
I'll volunteer. I'll volunteer for perks.
Love it. Yeah, we love a good volunteer.
Hey, man. Almost 30 years in the restaurant business. I know a little bit.
Yeah. And I mean, we're always open to volunteers. Like I said, we rely a lot on volunteers for these larger events. And then this year we've got extra people joining us, like Sandy Valley Ranch and Buffalo Bills. That is going to help.
Are they
us
going to
house.
open Buffalo Bills for this?
Yes, they are.
Great.
And they're actually opening their hotel for us as well.
That's what I meant, the hotel.
Yeah, the hotel will be up and running.
They've got, what, 1,700 rooms?
Yes.
Something like that?
Yeah, and they will.
You know, I lived
staffed.
at Buffalo Bills for 3 weeks when I was waiting for my place in Henderson.
Did you really?
To come available. Yeah, it was $25 a night back then.
Yeah.
So I just stayed at Buffalo Bills and drove to work in Vegas.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, because it took 3 weeks for the place I wanted to be available. Yeah, so I actually lived at Buffalo Bills. And that dang roller coaster,
Yeah.
you'd hear people screaming, you know, right outside the window. And because they don't shut that thing down till like 10 o'clock. It was like 10 o'clock at night.
You are all good to chat.
I'm sorry for...
Oh, you're good. I didn't want to interrupt, man. I felt bad.
Where are you from?
Georgia.
Georgia. Are you going to be here for the Fallout event, or are you just vacation now?
So I just got switched to San Diego Naval Base.
Oh, really?
So I just came from Bahrain overseas.
Oh, well,
Awesome.
thank you for your service.
I didn't do much.
Nice. Okay, Jared, who I just met, and he has become a new subscriber, tells me he has a band. Tell us about the band, Jared.
Well, it's, you know, I formed it in Bahrain. It was just me and 2 other guys. And it's rock and roll, it's grunge, you know. It's Ravage Thomas.
And the name is?
Ravage Thomas.
Have you got any CDs out or anything
So
out?
I had the DPKI file to make CDs, but we just finished the album.
So if somebody wanted to listen,
Maybe look up Plastic Lips on Spotify. That's it.
Joe, get that? All right, man. Thank you, Jared. Okay, I'm back with Valerie. Valerie is going to tell us what new products are going to be available here at the general store in Goodsprings.
Heck yeah. So on top of our annual Fallout t-shirt that we have for the event, we are also going to be releasing a special shirt that will be carried here at the Pioneer Saloon year-round that you'll be able to get, that is a Fallout t-shirt. We've also got our Nuka-Cola caps coming in, keychains. We have our Fallout record that our owner of the Pioneer here produced himself, as well as a CD.
What's his name?
His name is Steven Stratz. He goes by Old Man Liver.
Old Man
most
Liver.
people know him by, because his whiskey's amazing.
Yeah.
And then we will have an array of Jones soda. And Jones is also releasing some special things to us that we will be able to announce. What's today?
24th.
Oh, that we can already announce because yesterday was our day. So we will be carrying Sunset Sarsaparilla in the bottle and on tap. So you can get it on tap as well, along with the Quantum Soda, Nuka Grape, and some other Jones flavors that are going to be amazing.
Awesome. And DPI has to approve the... Okay. Okay, guys, I met a couple of guys from Tennessee. One of them... What's your name?
Cody.
Cody? Perfect name for Tennessee. Come on. Come on now. Cody's going to hold the camera, and this is his buddy. Your name?
Caleb.
Caleb. That's Tennessee, guys. I mean, you don't get any more Tennessee than that. Okay, but we're here at Goodsprings in front of the Pioneer Saloon and the Goodsprings General Store. These guys have been playing that game since they were 13 years old. Cody's gonna hold the camera and we'll just chat for a bit. So Caleb,
Yes, sir.
are you here on vacation? What?
Yeah, pretty much. We just we love the landscape, love the area. We come out here to see the national parks. St. George is probably one of my favorite places in the world.
Utah.
Utah is gorgeous out there. I love the red rock. I mean, out here, you know, the Mojave's got like, you know, it's got its greens and
It is not green. The Mojave Desert is not. Don't say green and Mojave Desert at the same time.
You got a little bit of green and you got the brown, but out there in Utah, you got the red.
Oh,
It's so much more gorgeous.
Well, I grew up in the Mojave Desert, so I think it's beautiful.
So you're from around here originally?
About 200 miles that way.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I live in Henderson right now. So, you doing like a tour from Tennessee to where?
Well, we
what?
basically flew into Las Vegas.
Oh.
So we just rent a car. We fly and do like Allegiant. If you want to fly out here, it's a really cheap airline. They do like flights from all over the U.S. So we just rent a car and just kind of tour the area.
So you're here, but you're here 10 days ahead of the big event here, the Fallout event. You're gonna miss it.
Yeah, we try to beat the crowd. I mean, it's,
I know.
everybody comes
I
here
know.
at the same time.
No,
I like to get it for how
There
it
you go.
usually is.
Me
yeah.
too. That's why I'm here, is to show everybody what it looks like, you know, before the storm. So, how long have you been playing Fallout?
I probably started playing. I played Fallout 3 first. So you know, you got the DC ruins and stuff. I started playing in probably 2013, 2014, something like that. So I mean, a little while after it came out, but I mean, it was still really new to me.
Yeah.
And I mean,
Oh.
like you said, you'd struggle for the first five episodes.
I spent 5 episodes right here.
Yeah.
In Goodsprings.
I could spend weeks here. I love the town. I loved it in the video game. It made me love it in real life. I mean, it's
I do
such
too.
it's not one-to-one for like how everything's laid out in the game.
Of course not.
It's got a lot of charm.
And it's quiet.
Yes.
It's
quiet,
very,
peaceful.
very quiet. Here, let's change positions so you can get the Pioneers and the Goodsprings General Store in there. So this is it, guys. You can get an idea. And if Caleb will pan up on the mountain there, where I started the video, I walked up there. But these guys are a lot younger than me that are up there, so I'm sure it didn't kick their butt, but it kicked my butt. So this is the area, and there's a couple of Caleb and Cody, other way around, Cody, Caleb. Fans of the game and fans of y'all, and thank you.
Now fans of you, sir. It's
Well, thank
a
you
pleasure
guys.
to meet you.
Thank you. Anything else you guys want to add? No. Oh, one more thing. Here, if I may take the camera. This is a fire truck. So I'm sorry. Originally a fire truck from Germany that this couple shipped over through Canada.
Yep.
And now this is in Nevada, and they've converted it into an RV. And how long have you been touring?
Since May.
Since May. This is now October 24th.
Yeah.
So you came down through Wyoming?
Yeah, we first drove from Halifax all the way to Banff. And from Banff we came down. So then you get Wyoming. No, first Montana, Wyoming,
Yes.
Utah. Then we did a corner, and then
Oh, yes.
Colorado.
Yes.
Then we swiveled back to Utah.
Yeah, I've done all that, but I live here. I'm not from Germany. That is amazing. So how long did it take you to convert this? And
The front part is just the fire truck for the double cabin. The back part is a Dutch company that makes the containers. So you just strip the back part of the fire truck. You bring your own truck and they put it on.
they put it on.
And they have a subsidiary in a company in Colorado, so that's where we picked up some spare parts. And now we're traveling, and you can buy the fire trucks cheap from Germany.
Have you had any breakdowns? And if so, would that be an issue?
We had one in Winnipeg. We had some seals that was leaking. Some friends helped us there on the driveway, and that's about it. And the rest, it's the truck itself is 30 years old, but the engine had only 20,000 miles on it because it was from the voluntary fireware, so it's always been standing in the heated garage doing nothing.
Yeah, I would just be worried, like if one of the tires blew.
Now we have a backup tire.
You do?
Yeah. On the back we
Oops.
almost. In the back we have a backup tire. Yeah, this is the kids' space. It's a little bit crowded.
And that ladder probably compresses. I mean, it goes folds back up.
This is where we sleep. And then I locked it actually.
So how much time do you spending the night in the camper, or do you do motels, hotels from time to time?
No, actually Vegas was the only time we spent in a hotel, and our little one said, "When can we go back to the camper, please?" The oldest liked it. He's like sleeping in the castle, but yeah, and the roof lowers, and then the highest point is the awning.
And so that folds out?
Yeah, the roof lowers.
So you can fold that out as an awning and have like a little patio.
Yeah, I can grab the key.
So this could actually make...
No, not a patio. So I only have like the roof raises. So here you can see inside. Here's where we sleep. And then around the corner is a toilet and a shower.
Bunk beds.
Bunk beds, yeah.
Do you have, and then do you have any problems finding dumping stations, or?
No, not so much.
They just go to any RV park, right?
Yeah.
Oh, then they're all over.
And this just goes down close.
And then what's next? What's your next stop? Oh, here's your spare.
Here's our spare. Yeah, we look for a place.
And it's okay. You've got the permits and everything. Those are German plates, right?
Dutch. We're from the Netherlands.
Dutch.
But we're just next to Germany, and they have the cheap fire trucks, so we're from the Netherlands.
And you had no idea why Goodsprings is famous?
No, absolutely no idea. I have some friends probably that play Fallout.
And you just happened to stop here because?
A little bit of the ghost town idea. The kids like ghost towns. So we just on our way, like, okay, we have 2 more weeks before we go to Baja. And then Guatemala.
You know, you've heard of the Calico Ghost Mine? It's in California.
Mm-hmm.
It's about, have you been there?
No.
You've got about a 2-hour drive.
Okay.
North. If you take the 15, you'll go through state line, then you'll hit Baker.
Yeah.
And then just past Baker, before you get to Barstow, is the Calico Ghost Town.
Calico Ghost Town.
Calico, C-A-L-I-C-O, Calico.
Okay, nice. Yeah, we went in...
If they want to see like...
Yeah, I like it. No, absolutely. We went to Garnet, I think, near Clinton, was it? Still in Canada, stuff like that. So just mix it up. We go from nature park to nature park, so we're here by accident. But it's nice to see where apparently the video game was shot. Or so,
well, people watch me play it because it's a 73-year-old man playing their games.
Yeah.
You know, the games of the young.
Yeah, of the young.
And they like to laugh at me, making a fool out of myself.
And then you give them a headshot, or doesn't it work like that?
No, it doesn't work like that. All right, so good to meet you. What was your name?
Remy.
Remy.
Nice to meet you.
David. And there's Cody and Caleb for the last time, and here is Goodsprings for the last time because my battery is running low. Hi guys. How you doing? Hey. Hi. I don't have any carrots. I wish I had carrots. I wish I had carrots, boys, but I don't. They're all coming over here expecting carrots. He put his ears back, he's mad at me. You can adopt these if anybody's interested. And they usually have Mustangs out here too. I don't see any Mustangs right now, so they must have done a wild burro roundup. And then occasionally they'll do Mustangs, round them up, and put them up for adoption. These are Mustangs. Same facility where the burros were. There's some more burros over here. Look at that buckskin down there. Buckskin Mustang. There's a Palomino Mustang. These are up for adoption. So these are captured wild. They're wild herds that roam out here. Been out here since I was a kid, long before I was here, and long before I was born. But you can can go out there. I went out with my dad and we saw a few herds of wild Mustangs. Back when I was a boy, about 10 years old, my dad took me out there. These are up for adoption. You can actually adopt these horses, and they are great horses. Got the sun setting. I got to get to my reunion. I was supposed to be there an hour ago, so I'm an hour late for my reunion, but this is well worth it. So I'm finally heading for the reunion. I'm only an hour late. You can see off to the right, that's the dry lake. Looks like it has a little bit of water in it though. It's normally dry. I used to live within walking distance of that.
Oh man, this thing turned off on me.
Old businesses that used to be a Asian food place. It's all shut down now. This would be the road that I would take after school if you wanted to go fishing. Just head straight up to the High Sierras over here, the Sierra Nevada mountain range. Highest mountain in the continental United States is over that way, Mount Whitney. But you could be fishing in about 45 minutes, about a 45-minute ride. None of this used to be here. And then the drive-in theater was right over here, where I saw the first James Bond movies. And, oh, where was that? Should be. None of this was here when I was a kid. I don't even know if I've already gone past the drive-in theater where it used to be. already, so it's been demolished and paved over, and they built other stuff out here. There's a horseback riding over that way. Sorry about the bugs on the windshield. Sometimes we ride our bicycles out here. It's about a 9-mile bike ride. More fun on horses though. Of course, it did not look like this back then. There was just the 2 lanes going out. You didn't have 2 lanes out and 2 lanes in. It was just the 2 lanes, you know, 1 lane out and 1 lane, just the 2-lane road right here, not what you're seeing now. It's just this one road that I'm on right now, but the lane I'm in right now would be people coming in the opposite direction. And then I don't know if you can see the aqueduct. There's a line across the base of the Sierras there. Might look like a road on the video. It's actually up above the first white line going across left to right. There's a thinner white line up there. That's the LA aqueduct, where they stole all the water from the lakes down that way, north. That's north we're looking at right now. And they run the water out of all the lakes over here, all the way across down that way, another 250 miles to Los Angeles. But you can see how fast I got up here. I mean, we're almost to the mountains. Actually, I want to keep going straight. Now, this is all new. This overpass, none of this was here. So you just went straight up the way I'm going now to Inyokern. Like I'm doing now. That overpass gives you a shortcut north over that way. We didn't have that back then. We just did what I'm doing right now. Straight up into Inyokern, which has not changed in 60 years. Well, that gas station's new. $5 for gas. California is insane. $5 for gas. You gotta be crazy. Yeah, but this all looks the same. My goodness, all this stuff has been here since I was a little kid. This has not changed. Well, very, very little. It's an antique shop. I ought to go check that out. Then Lake Isabella is another 50 miles. Straight. You'd go straight over the mountain, into the mountains there, straight ahead from where we're going. Pretty much straight in. And we'd go there a lot. Camping, hiking, fishing, water skiing, Lake Isabella. And then right over there used to be a real nice steakhouse. So like if you wanted a fancy dinner, you'd go over there to where those buildings are, is where it used to be. I can't remember the name of it, but that's where you take your date for a nice steak dinner, and then you have a beautiful view looking back down behind us. Right there is called Five Finger. I don't know if you can see it in on the video, but it looks like, you know, it's got 5 little peaks on it. Five Finger. We call that Five Finger. And then Robert's Roost is down to the left. And that other little hill right there on the end is what I used to run up and down to get in shape for football. Run to the top, run back down it. The goal was to make it in under 30 minutes. It would take, I got to where I could do it in 25 minutes. That little hill on the left, the smaller one. Take about 25 minutes to get to the top and back down. Well, that was my best, my best time. Usually I'd be closer to 30 minutes, depending on how energetic I was feeling. Then you keep on going that way to the left, you go to Los Angeles, like I say, about 250 miles. Then on up north, you've got Mammoth and Lake Tahoe and all the towns in between. Lone Pine, Big Pine. Big Bear's down that way to the left. Independence, town of Independence, and then there's a great hiking trail out of Independence. You could hike up over the Kearsarge Trail. That was my favorite hike. But you can see we're up here pretty quick, coming from school. I'll pull over here. And then the road back in is just right up here a bit. And you take the road back in to the Sierras. To the Kern River, Lake Isabella, Kernville, all that. For fishing, but the better fishing was further north, which is that way. Let me hop out here real quick, if I can. But that's it. That's the valley, the basin, where I spent most of my youth. Horseback riding over there where we're looking right now. Ride horse all through all of this and back into those hills way in the distance. It looks a lot further away probably on the video than it is. It's not that far. You saw how long it took to get up here. It wasn't long at all. Then the Sierras, when you get up next to them like this, look, that's a hill right there I would run up. You can see how you start down there at the base of it, at the bottom, way down there where it slopes down, and then run up it, and you think you're getting to the top. Like, you can't tell looking at it, but it kind of slopes back like there's a false top. You'd get false hope. You'd think you'd made it to the top, but then see how it kind of flattens, it kicks out, it flattens out and then kicks back. So, but you can't see the peak when you're running up it. So you think what you're looking at is the peak, but it isn't until you get there. And then you still got another ways to go to get to the top. Then run back down the left side. It's part of my get in shape workout back playing football. And that way is Los Angeles. Like I said, it's about 250 miles. And that way is the best way to go. All kinds of beautiful things that way. And it gets really beautiful when you get up in the mountains. You get a lot of greenery. It's not green down here in the desert, but once you get up there, just like any other mountain range, lots of greenery, big trees. It's really nice. I'll go a little bit further here. Let's see. If we go down a little bit farther, maybe we can get a view. Got to buckle up, you know. Never used to wear seatbelts back in the day. Took me 10 years after they made the seatbelt laws. Took me 10 years to where I started using it. 10 years and 3 tickets for not wearing one. Irritated the crap out of me that I had to wear a seatbelt. Lone Pine 67 miles, Bishop 125. Really, really, I like those towns a lot. Small towns, everybody knows everybody. Country, high desert stuff. Those are the White Mountains there. Sierra to my left. That's where that restaurant used to be. It looks like it burned down. And none of this other stuff was here. Been all the way up back in there. You take a ATV back up there. We took motorcycles. We didn't have ATVs back then. Just ride your motorcycle all the way up to the top of that. those telephone poles, I don't know what they use them for anymore. Telephone wires. But those telephone poles been there for over 100 years. No lie. Same telephone poles were there when I was just a kid, so that's over 70 years right there. So you know those telephone poles been there a very, very long time. I wonder, I don't think they use them for telephone anymore. They must be electricity. Maybe they use them for power lines now. Alright, that's going to be it for this segment. Morning. Hope you're doing well. Thought I'd give you a view of where I grew up. We're here while I'm here for the reunion. Now, it didn't look like this exactly when I was back in the 60s and 70s, of course. It changes, but not the mountains. The mountains haven't changed. Horseback riding all through here, all through these hills. But it is strange to see. I'm looking back at the ridge behind the camera. It is strange to be back here as a elderly fella, a coffin dodger, and remember being young. And now imagine being young, like I'm talking 10, 11 years old, and finding something like this. So me and my friends found this, two of my friends. We were, like I say, we were like 11, 12. They've got it boarded off now. Well, looks like iron bars. Iron bars, so you can't get in. But that goes back. Oh, that goes back about 200 feet if I remember. And this is not one of the good ones. Looks like somebody at some point had a fire here. Let's see how far back I can get in. They've got iron bars right there, I see them. But yeah, that looks like it's, well, yeah, somebody had a fire. Yeah, somebody might have used this for shelter. It looks like they spray painted. Stupid kids. We never did that. But imagine our excitement at finding something like this. These mines were dug by hand. I don't know how far back you can see. I don't know if the camera will pick up the light back there. They got these iron bars in here. But we walked back in there. And, oh gosh, this isn't the good one. This isn't the one that we made our fort in. That's a ways away. Around the other side of the mountain. It's where we had our fort. But imagine going back in there not knowing what you might stumble upon. And we went home and got candles and went back in there with candlelight, because you can only go back so far. Once it curves back there, then you can't see anymore. You don't get any more light. I hope you can see some way back. The light goes back about maybe 50 feet. But this isn't the good one, like I said. There's the one we found, our favorite one that we found, is much better than this. And oof, let's see if I can get out of here without killing myself. And it's hard to bend over when you're 73. A lot easier when you're 12. But anyway, it's a good one. But it was hard to get to when I was, 11, 12, 13 years old. And I know darn well I can't get to it at 73. It's up around the bend here. There's about, oh gosh, I can't recall, at least six mines like this up here. But we never had any, nobody ever got hurt, no problems. But for some reason they decided to board them up. But you got to go around the mountain and up. There's another set of mountains around the bend and up higher. And like I said, it was hard to do when I was young and limber. I don't think I could get back up there at this age. But and so I won't even try. That's it. I just wanted to give you a look at this. All right, time to get back on the road. Just pulling out from the mine. Now, there weren't any roads up here back then. This dirt road wasn't here. And the coach would bring us up here to run these hills. So we would run, the track coach would bring us up here. We would run these hills. And like I said, there wasn't a road. This one might have been here. I don't know. He didn't bring us here, though. He brought us around the bend, what I was telling you. And there's a bunch more of these hills. And I think I'm going the wrong way. Yeah, I think I wanted to turn left here. And there weren't any houses. Those hills back over there. And back over to the right, which you can't see. And we would work out. He'd give us a good workout running out here. And then we'd have to run back to the school, which is over here. Way back that way, about 5 miles. So after we get a good old workout, running these hills like that. We didn't run on those. Oh, we got some bumps. Those hills right there, we didn't run on those. We ran back the other way, back that way. But similar hills to that. And like I said, none of these houses were here, and not in 1960s. then he'd pull a dirty trick on us and make us run back. He'd drive us up here. And not on, there's a different road, not here. This house wasn't here. None of these houses were here. This was just all raw desert through here. And the college, that's the college up there. The college wasn't here. So I guess when they built the college, so came the houses and the roads. But I'd ride horses. I'd ride my horse over here. Well, wasn't my horse. But I started riding out here when I was 8 years old. College Heights Road. See, there was no such thing as College Heights Road. And that road goes on up to the college. And there was no such thing as any of these houses. None of these neighborhoods were here. There used to be horse stables out there by that mountain. I don't know if you can look at it, at the closest mountain. I don't know what this is going to look like. But that mountain over there, and there were some stables over there, and they rented horses out. And then the horses that I rode were over here. Those houses weren't there. They were rental horses. And I always got the same horse. I always got Blackie or Pete. Sometimes I'd get Pete. Those were the two horses that they would give to little kids. Like I said, I was 8, 9, and 10, and 11 riding. Learning how to ride. Then later on in Bakersfield, which is about 90 miles over the Sierras, over that way, I had my own horses. When I was in my 20s. But none of this was here. What you're looking at was all raw desert. Even right up here, this shopping center, no, none of that was here. China Lake. That's the name of the Navy base. This is the town. I didn't live out here. I lived on the base. And like I said, none of this was here, none of it. This was just all raw desert. And then this is the way out and back to Vegas. Gas prices, man, over $5 a gallon. Californians are crazy. $5 a gallon for gas. $4 is too high. And then there's mines all through here, and these mines, like I said, they weren't dug with machines. Those guys back in the 1800s did that with their hands, you know, and shovels and picks and pickaxes. I'm not sure what that is right there. Almost looks like a motel. Come through here, they would be in wagons. They would be lucky if they could make 10 miles a day. And I'm about to drive 230 miles in a couple of hours. Pretty crazy. I'm sure the pioneers, first people through here, would think that was real crazy. To think that you could go 230 miles in a few hours. Sign here, San Bernardino south and Bishop to the north. I wish, man, I wish I could take you up to Bishop, up along, up along the base of the Sierras, Highway 14, all the way to Bishop. Absolutely stunning. This is a homesteader over here. Somebody's got a homestead that they built over here. A mine, looks like he's mining. Like I said, there are mines all through here, and we went through them when we were kids. Went through all of them. We did not go through the mine shafts. Look at these wrecked cars out there. We did not go through the mine shafts because the mine shafts go down, right? Tunnels go straight, like what the one I showed you. Mine shafts go down 500 feet or more, 1,000 feet, and the ladders down there were built in the 1800s. So you know, we did try, but as soon as the ladder would break, you know, because the wood was old and rotten. We got scared and said, we're not going down there. So we didn't really get scared. We got smart and didn't go down. We went back up. But we did go down a couple of mine shafts. We tried to go down them and then thought better of it. I had a couple of friends that lived out here. I don't think their house is here anymore. That isn't it. That's an abandoned house though. That wasn't it. It was out here a little bit further. And then all out here was for, you come out, people would come, we'd come out here on motorcycles, dirt bikes, and ride those hills. I'm gonna keep recording until we get up here past Garlock, because right up here, that mountain you're looking at right in the center there, in the back, the furthest one back, that's Red Mountain, and one of the richest gold mines in the country is right over there in Randsburg. And this valley I'm about to show you was full of men, about 40,000 of them, over 40,000 men searching for gold. See that train over there, all those train cars? Those have been there since I was a kid. Those train cars have been there since the 60s, and they're never moved. They don't use it. They don't use that that railroad line anymore. I don't know if you can't see them now. Now we've got some more. Yeah, there's some more railroad cars. I don't know if you can see them way, way back. I don't know what it'll look like on the GoPro. I think they just store them out there now. It's old railroad cars. But miners came, men came all the way from 2,000, 3,000 miles away over on the other side of the country, the east. They came out here in wagons. You don't know how hard that is. If you try, I'm not joking when I say they were lucky if they could get 10 miles a day. But that mountain ridge right back there, right back in there is where that gold mine is. I believe it was still active and the most productive gold mine in the United States all the way up into the early 2000s. I'm not sure if it's still open. But all the way from the 1800s up until very recently, it may still be open, actually. They may still be pulling gold out of it. And right there, straight ahead of those mountains you're looking at. And then Randsburg is right there over the ridge. That's the town. And then the mine is right back there too. The original miner that found it made $2 million, you know, in gold. And that's what, of course, caused a big gold rush, right? Made in the 1800s. Now we found the boot by accident. The metal detector picked up some metal, and we were digging down for whatever the metal detector detected, and we found these boots. My friend, we found all kinds of things out there. My friend also, the big prize was he found a revolver, a .45 revolver from the 1800s. That sucker's worth a lot of money. But it was a mess. It was all rusted up. So I don't know how much money it would be worth. I don't know, but we did find a revolver, and that was 40,000 men living here. 40,000 men. No women. All right, we're coming in from the California side. So we should be dropping down on Primm here, PDQ, pretty darn quick. So many times I have rounded this curve, and as soon as you see state line, you get all excited, you know. There's the off-road to off-ramp for Nipton. So we'd be driving in here with a couple of buddies in the car, you know, back when we were young, 20-year-old bucks, and all excited. But by the time you get to here, you've been in the car for a couple of hours, you know, and you're getting a little, gosh, you know, when are we ever going to get there, you know, driving in from LA or from Orange County. And then you round the bend right here, and especially if there's Nipton Road, especially if you're coming in at night, and there it is right down there, and you see state line, Primm down there, all lit up. And all of a sudden you'd get energized. So this is not coming from the Goodsprings side, obviously. Goodsprings, you can look ahead. I don't know if you can see it on the with the GoPro, but you can see Goodsprings from here. It's just, well, I know where it is, but it probably won't show up on the GoPro. And then over here, you've got the solar farm, big gigantic solar farm going on. And they've been talking about making an international airport out here for many, many, many years in that dry lake bed, but they never do it. And there's no need for it, I don't think. That's why there's just no need for it. You know, if they ever did get that bullet train finished from Los Angeles to here, then you might be able to see your way clear to put an airport down there. Pull into Primm. I'll take a look at it. I haven't seen it in about 15 years, maybe longer. I hear reports that it's dead, that it's closing up, but that they're going to have it open for the Fallout New Vegas event. I know the Buffalo Bills has 1,700 rooms. I know that because I stayed there. I lived at Buffalo Bills for 3 weeks once upon a time, many, 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 many years ago. You know, like 25, 30 years ago. And then Whiskey Pete's is on the left. I never stayed there. I don't know how many rooms it has. And I did not hear that Whiskey Pete's would be open, but I did hear that Buffalo Bills will be open for the event. And they'll bus you over to Goodsprings. Make out the roller coaster from here. The Desperado, it was called. I've ridden that thing 4 times, but it's shut down now. Once upon a time, that was the tallest roller coaster in the world. When I went down it, it has like a, I can't remember, I think it's 90 feet, a 90-foot drop. I rode it 4 times, got sick once. I was looking to my left as the thing, you know, in the middle of it, not after the first drop, but somewhere along the line between the middle of the roller coaster ride and the end of it, I was looking left, and the dang thing dipped and took a sharp right, and click, there went something in my head, and I got dizzy. I did not throw up, but I sure got dizzy as all get out. It didn't bother me the other 3 times. So let's see what this is all about. I keep hearing that it's died. Let's take a look. Not surprise me a bit, because I always thought it was really dumb. There it is. There's the Buffalo Bills. My residence for 3 weeks, many years ago. Yeah, well, they say they're opening this up for the event. It does not look that way now. Wow. But again, I'm not surprised, because it never made any sense to me that they were doing this out here, because for decades, you know, we would drive through state line, and that's all you did. You drove through state line. There was nothing there, and except a gas station. So if you needed gas, you could get gas, but you're only 35 miles from Vegas, so why in the heck would you spend any time at state line? And then they started building it up, right? They started doing all of this, and I just thought, how dumb is this? You know, let me park. How dumb is this, you know? So, and the only thing I could figure was it's either a money laundering operation, or, you know, a tax loss. They're willing to write it off, you know, a tax deduction as a loss, because, and that was from the beginning. You know, that's the way I felt about it from the beginning, because I felt like there's just no way that this is going to succeed. You know, you can't. And then they started building. Now, Whiskey Pete's was there, and I thought, well, Whiskey Pete's was fine, because you could hit Whiskey Pete's. That's on the other side of the road here. Can't see it from here right now. You could hit Whiskey Pete's and maybe test your luck before you get to Vegas, like if you just wanted to stretch your legs, but you're only 30 miles from Vegas. But I never did. I never stopped on the way in, but sometimes I'd stop at Whiskey Pete's on the way out if I had lost money, hoping to maybe, you know, one last chance to make money. then they put in the outlet malls, and I'm like, yeah, the party is at Primm Valley. I think they mean for next week for the New Vegas shindig, the big event that they're going to have. But I don't, I never understood the building out here as much as they did. I mean, it just didn't make any sense logically. And I guess it did last for I don't know, a couple of decades, but then it's all gone, except for special events. I'm gonna go up to the doors. I doubt I can get in, but let's see, my room for 3 weeks was 11th floor. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So if you go up 11 floors, and it was either 3 or 4 windows over from the left. That's where I lived for 3 weeks. The reason for that was somebody had stolen my identity, and I was moving to Vegas from Colorado, but got delayed on being able to move in because of crimes committed by the person who had stolen my identity. So I had to go through the process with the constable of all things, the constable of Las Vegas, and they had to do their investigation, and they caught the guy and got my name cleared, and of course the bank gave me all my money back. But yeah, I had my identity stolen, so I couldn't move in, so ended up having to stay here for 3 weeks, which I did not mind. I wish we could get in, but I don't think we can, guys. I'll try the front. I probably should have driven the car over here to the front. Yeah, but it was 100% predictable that this would fail when it started, at least by me, the business expert that I am. That's a joke. It's a joke. But I'm just saying, not just me, everybody I knew who, you know, spent time in Vegas said, what the hell are they doing building all that stuff out there? It can't possibly succeed. And we were right. Although it did do well in the beginning. Oh, look at that, they've got a leak, water damage up there, but this is cool. But again, I wonder why they hung on for so long. You know, if it was a you know, a tax deduction. Nah, it's closed, man. It will be open for the event. Let me try. Nah, we're done. One of these might be open, you never know. Almost. Look at that change. If I make enough noise, maybe somebody will come. Chains. Anybody have a hairpin? We can pick the lock. Well, can kind of see you can see the machines are lit up. I'm gonna try every single door. Maybe I can, if I can get security on my butt. But that's no guarantee that they'd let me in. Huh, well, shucks. Well, you never know. I mean, there might still be somebody around here. You know, there might still be somebody I could talk to. I don't know. Yeah. Oh man. Yeah, back here you can say, you probably wonder like, well, why would you live out here for 3 weeks? Why wouldn't you just get a place in Vegas and not have to drive into work? It's because it was $29 a night. I think it was 29. Yeah, $29.90. No, or maybe it was 25. $25.99. But you know, I would say it's a shame that it's closed. But I don't feel that way. I don't. I think it was dumb to do it in the first place. But I'm not a billionaire who has nothing better to do with their money than to make things like this and then not care. But I think the thing that really killed it was that over there, the outlet malls. Why in the world would anybody want to go to an outlet mall 30 miles from Las Vegas? You know, if the clothing, the things that they were offering were significantly less expensive, okay, maybe people in Vegas would drive 30 miles out here to check it out. But it wasn't. They were expensive as hell to get out. I see cars coming in. I think they're going to the gas station. There is a gas station over there. That's probably the only thing still operating, which was, which makes sense, because it was the only business around here that made sense to have was a gas station. Didn't make any sense to do the rest of what they did. But, you know, unless you needed a money laundering situation, then of course, I'm sure it made great sense. Yeah, see all the cars coming out? They're coming out from the gas station down there. Kind of crazy. I think there's some fast food restaurants down there too. At least one. But that's the only thing, that's the only reason, or the only kind of business anybody should have. Oh, that looks kind of steep. That state line. I don't know, man. I don't know. Yeah, see, they're coming off the freeway and they're going right over to the gas station and the fast food restaurants over there. That's what they're doing. They're not, well, there's nothing else for them to do right now. I mean, I could drive across the road to Whiskey Pete's. You want me to do that? Well, let's do that real quick. Hey man, you want to know how to get on the strip? The fastest way to get on the strip? Now Vegas is that way, 40 some odd miles. This is Gene, and then Goodsprings is behind us, and that way is State Line or Primm. But we can be on the strip in a couple minutes. You don't believe me? I'm going to show you. And I really hesitate to show you because I don't want a whole bunch of tourists knowing about this. It's a road that for the most part only locals know about, but it'll get you on the strip. We'll be on the strip in about 1 minute, even though it's 40 miles away. Over 40. You don't believe me, I know you don't. Watch this. That's the Correctional Institute for all you Fallout Vegas aficionados, people who play the game. They got a railroad, they got a train going by. So there you go. We are on the strip. I'm not joking. I'm totally serious. This is Las Vegas Boulevard, also known as the Strip. You didn't know it came all the way out here, did you? They use those buildings, I think, to model something in the game too. But there's the freeway. That's the I-15. And that will get extremely crowded. Heavy traffic. Sometimes it'll even come to a stop. Especially like on a Friday when all the people are coming in from California. Driving in. But if you get over here on this road, it's never crowded. And it parallels I-15. And you are technically on the Strip because it's Las Vegas Boulevard. Can you imagine, like in the year 3000, they might have casinos and resorts all the way out here? God forbid, huh? There you go. That's the fastest way to get to the Strip from Goodsprings. Also, for all you gamers, this is the way you want to come if you want to avoid the death clause. You don't want to be on I-15 over there with all those crazy people on the freeway. They'll get attacked by death clause. Just swing over here to Las Vegas Boulevard and cruise right on down to the Lucky 38 with no traffic. All right, so now you know a secret.